Hello there class. In this video, we will discuss another subsystem that can work with the Apache Hadoop ecosystem, Spark. One of the things that we can say right away about Spark, and I think that is the reason why Spark is so important and significant right now, and of course very popular for the not only for the research community, but even for enterprise who use the system, the software tool for the big data analytics and machine learning. One of the best feature of Spark is it is very, very fast. Yes, and that is one I think that we can see right away here with its logo. It's been lightning fast cluster computing. Of course, besides very fast speed and very good performance, that is, it has very powerful features. Okay, and you will see very soon. Spark has many APIs, but two of them, the most I think that popular features or APIs of Spark is the Spark SQL, and another one is Spark Streaming. Of course, Spark has many APIs, but in this class we will discuss two of them. The first one is Spark SQL, and the second one, the Spark Streaming. That we will discuss. I will discuss with you about Spark Streaming later. I mean, maybe in the last week before we had the final presentation, because by that way we learn about how to collect data using Spark Streaming. Okay, before we talk in detail about Spark, its features and its framework, let's review a bit of its history. It's very, very interesting. Spark started as a class project in the University of California at Berkeley. Yes. And it is only a class project. Of course, it means done by, I think that a PhD student and with his advisor. And then, however, thanks to its powerful features and amazing performance in processing big data, Spark became very popular, and now it is one of the best software systems for big data analytics and machine learning. Later, when it is already pretty popular and used by a lot of researchers as well as enterprises, the software system was donated to the Apache Foundation. It has been open source since then. I would like to have some note here about Spark. From the start, the creators of this software system have focused on making Spark work perfectly in the Apache Hadoop ecosystem. And you will see very soon in my videos and also with your homework. Yeah, it worked perfectly. It worked very well with the Apache Hadoop framework, especially the HDFS. It means Hadoop Distributed File System. And more importantly, the creators originally also make a lot of effort in developing features for machine learning tasks. That is the reason why Spark is so powerful about machine learning. Okay. But as I already discussed, for this class, we don't talk or discuss about the machine learning feature of Spark because that is not the focus of our class. Our focus class is about the fundamental engineering. It means we talk about harvesting, storing, and streaming. Harvesting and retrieving data, And as so far, as we already seen, we discussed a lot about how to store big data, how to retrieve the big data or data from the system, and we will talk about the wrangling data, cleansing it very soon, and then later we will talk about how to collect data using Spark streaming. Okay, and we are ready to learn a lot more about Spark. Okay, so the first question is, what is Spark? Okay, the Apache Spark is a framework for real-time data analytics in a distributed computing environment. Okay, here is some words that we should pay attention to. Okay, let's look at it. Distributed. Let me put it. Yes, environment. And here is some other words that we also need to pay attention to it. Like real-time data analytics. Yes. So the terminology real-time data analytics, real-time, it should be very fast, and it should be done in a distributed computing environment. Not, it means that they don't focus on a standalone software that works in only one computer. No. They focus on how to process big data or to do data analytics or data analysis in real time. It means very, very fast. In a distributed computing environment, it means it needs to use a lot or many computers as nodes. You remember the distributed computing environment that we already discussed with the Apache Hadoop ecosystem? Yeah, it is. Okay. And the Spark is written in Scala. Scala is another programming language. We have many programming languages that can be used in processing big data or doing the data analysis, like Java, Python, R, and now Scala. It is a new one. It is very good one. But even the Spark is written in this programming language. And as we already talked about it, it was originally developed at the University of California, Berkeley. So Spark, why it can run very fast? Because it executes in memory computation to increase speed of data processing over MapReduce. And one thing I would like to share with you that one of the reasons why the Apache Spark is so popular right now, the reason is the performance of MapReduce is not very good. We already see it, how MapReduce works. It means a lot of tasks. We need to divide it into the jobs, and then after we get on the result, we need to integrate the result. It means the review phase. So you see, it means it takes a lot of times. Therefore, MapReduce is not very good in speed and performance. Of course, it's good. When we compare with other things, but for the big data analysis, in comparing with Spark, MapReduce is not so good as Spark. Okay, and actually the researchers who work on Spark claim that Spark is 100 times faster than Hadoop here we say MapReduce for large-scale data processing by exploiting in-memory computation and other optimization. Okay, here's one thing we think. What is meant by in-memory here? Okay, do you remember that when we talk about the Hadoop and MapReduce? Okay, whenever, I mean, because the way of the nature of MapReduce have to chop or divide a big task into smaller jobs, and then after that have to and then assign, I mean, maybe these smaller tasks or jobs into different nodes. Then when they get the result, they need to integrate it. A lot of back and forth between the system, the software, and the disk. The disk, it means the storage. When we talk about memory here, we would like to mention about RAM. All of the operation, the computation is done. The computation or the processing of data is done in memory, in RAM. RAM means RAM, random access memory. The speed of RAM is very, very fast in comparison with the speed of the disk. Okay, for you to be to be easier to know about that, you know that in our normal computer we have RAM, is right, and we also have hard drive. Yes, what mean by memory here? We talk about RAM, and hard drive we call it storage or disk. Of course, both the memory and the RAM are storage. However, one we normally say memory, and the other one we call disk. With memory, the speed is very, very fast. It's used mainly for computing tasks, for processing data, yes, and this only for storing the data. Okay. Now, they say that the Spark creators or the Spark developers try to make all of the computation related to the data processing in memory. Even everything will be done in RAM. By that way, they cut all of the overhead in computation. By going back and forth between the software system and the disk. That is the reason why they can make Spark running very, very fast. Okay. And therefore, it requires high processing power than MapReduce. It means that for a system to run Spark very well, it requires the hardware system require more. It means they require bigger memory. Bigger RAM, so that it can run, can do all types of computation in the memory and make it run much, much faster. Okay. Now we continue. Let's look at Spark in Hadoop ecosystem. We see that the Apache Spark best fits for real-time processing. When we talk real-time, so what is not real-time? We call it batch processing. Batch. It means that we store the data in the storage and we will process later. With real-time, it means we want to do it immediately. For example, the data is streamed directly from the internet, get into the system, and then it will process as soon as possible. Okay. And Apache Hadoop were designed to store unstructured data and execute batch processing over it right here. You see? Yes, that is the original. I mean, way how to process data in Hadoop. Yes. With the Spark, they focus on real time. Do it as soon as possible. With, the Hadoop MapReduce overall, they focus on store the data first, and then we'll process later. Okay, and by that way, when we combine this Apache Spark ability, it means high processing speed, advanced analytics, and multiple integration support with Hadoop low cost operation on commodity hardware. For example, use it for HDFS, the Hadoop distributed file system, then we can get the best results. We get both. When we need very powerful and very good performance in processing data, use Spark. When we need to low cost system to store data, the HDFS, you Hadoop HDFS, and by that way we get both. And as I put it in the slide, and here that is the reason why Spark and Hadoop are used together by many companies for processing and analyzing their big data stored in HDFS. Okay.